I have to say, I think I'm of my time. So I look around at people who manage big organisations, and what I find often is people who I quite like, first of all, and who I think quite behave like I do, or I behave like them. I have a number of senior managers in big companies. John Fletcher is one within Coles Myers, John McFarland in ANZ. Different people that you sort of see. Young fellow who runs David Jones. There's a set of new people, I think, or people coming through with different management skills. So in some ways, I think I'm a product of that. I'm a product of the education. When I was very young, I was sort of told to get out and get education. It would be the way of the world. So I'm a product of that. I'm also a product of having survived the command and control model, which says that, command and control's fine in some instances, but it isn't fine for the rest of what policing has to do. It's not the best way to get out of people. Tell them you'll just do as I tell you to do. And there are still command and control models within, major companies in this state that seem to me limit the way that people could contribute and what you're asking them to do. So the command and control model had a substantial history. I mean, everybody came out, and just the history of it for me is about coming out of the Second World War. That's all most people knew. They came into senior management positions in management when they came back into work, and so that model stayed. Now, what happened in policing is, of course, we wear a uniform as well. It was like, well, you're like the military, and therefore you'll continue. But a bit like other systems we've had, no technology, seniority. I mean, all those things are gone over time. We've looked for people best skilled for jobs. We're now, rapidly moving into the nearly the 20th century, really, in terms of our technology. We're getting there. 21st century is not far from us. But again, all of those things had to change. So for me, having had 34 years in the police, to come to this position, to know that the better way to manage it and to have people do the best and be the best they can be, had to be that you had to have a different model. And that's a trust model. That's about having a belief in people. That's about saying that most people will do the right thing if you give them the opportunities to do it within boundaries of values and standards. If you set them goals and you hold them accountable to deliver, they will also achieve for you. So it's all of that in a sense is a product. And all of the management literature these days, hardly any of it says beating up people and directing them and treating them in that sort of fashion actually achieves the goals. Of course, there's not much evidence that it does.